Hey, welcome back to Delectable You Recipes for Life. Today we are going to play with pumpkin. We are going to make vegan, gluten-free pumpkin muffins with a little bit of streusel on top because streusel makes everything better and crunchier and lovely. So I got this recipe from the Minimalist Baker, who is my go-to for everything vegan because she's freaking awesome. And of course I adapted the recipe a little bit because that's just how I roll. You can do whatever you want. I can give you the link to the original recipe, or you can use this one, whichever you want. But let's get started, shall we? Okay, so as you can see, I've already got a flax egg in this bowl. Now, what is a flax egg, you ask? Well, it is a tablespoon and a half of flax meal mixed with 4 tablespoons of water. It's just been sitting for about 5 minutes, and what happens is it gels itself together, so it acts like the egg that's going to replace the real egg that we're not using. So that's already in there. Now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of mashed banana. This is going to give us some nice texture. And let's just mix this all together. La la la. I mean, this is already good. But don't worry, we're going to add some more stuff. Okay. Now, we're going to add some liquid ingredients. Now, of course, this is pumpkin, right? So we need some pumpkin puree. I am going to add, how much am I adding? 1.25 cups, actually, of pumpkin puree. So let's get that going. Now, make sure you don't get pumpkin pie mix. That's not what you want. You want pumpkin puree. Okay, there's our pumpkin. Smells delicious already. Put that aside. Now we're going to add some maple syrup. This is going to be our sweetener along with some coconut sugar later, but we're going to do 1/4 cup of maple syrup. Right, next we're going to add 1/4 cup of coconut oil. Now remember, when you're baking with coconut oil, you want to make sure that you melt the coconut oil down so that it incorporates nicely into your recipe. Next, we're going to add some vanilla, about 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Boop. All right, now let's just whisk this all together for about a minute until it's nice and combined. Okay. Now we're gonna add some spices. Love me some cinnamon. Cinnamon and pumpkin go together very nicely. So we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Maybe a little heavy-handed. And then we're gonna do some nutmeg. We're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Smells like the holidays when you bake with nutmeg. Okay, and we're going to do 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. These can be really strong, so don't be heavy-handed with this. And then let's do 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. If you don't like ginger, you can leave it out. And let's do 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, because remember, we need salt to bring out the dominant flavor in our recipes. And let's add some baking soda. We're gonna add 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And this might seem weird, but we're gonna add 1/2 cup of water at this point. And we're going to whisk it all together. Okay, that's nice and combined. So all that we're missing now is our flours, and we're actually going to use some oats as well. I'm going to put the whisk away though, because once we add the flour in, the flour just gets all caught in the whisk. So we're going to switch to our spatula. So we're going to do 1 cup of gluten-free flour. Any mix will do. I know there's a mix at Trader Joe's. They've got a good one. This is Bob's Red Mill. There's another one I think you can get at Whole Foods. I mean, there's a ton, or you can make your own. So here's a cup. There we go. Gluten-free flour. We're gonna add 3/4 of a cup of rolled oats. And let's do this instead. And these are gluten-free rolled oats. That's why this is a gluten-free recipe. If you don't really care about gluten, then you don't have to worry so much about that. And then we're gonna add some coconut flour. Gotta put our coconut sugar in there, we forgot about that. So here's the deal with coconut flour. It is something that's going to leach all the moisture out of your recipe. So you always have to make sure you have extra liquid when you're using coconut flour. That's why we put water, and that's why I put an extra little bit of pumpkin puree in there. Okay, so that's 1/2 cup of coconut flour. And somehow our coconut sugar managed to get away, but not for long. Let's put our coconut sugar in there now too. So we're gonna do 2/3 of a cup. You can add less of this if you don't want it to be as sweet, but coconut sugar is great because it's really not that sweet and it's really nutty. There you go. Okay, let's double check. Make sure we got everything. Because apparently my brain doesn't work as well as a pregnant woman. I think we did. Okay, so let's mix this all together until everything just is combined. We don't want to over mix anything, because then we're gonna get hockey pucks. We worked so hard with our whisk to get all that air in here. We don't want to take it all out. Okay, this is looking wonderful. So all that's left to do is to make your streusel and to put these in their pans. Now I've already made the streusel. So what I did earlier is I took 3 tablespoons of coconut flour, 3 tablespoons of gluten-free flour, 2 tablespoons of chopped pecans, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, solid, not liquid, and a pinch of cinnamon, and I just mixed it all together. So I've got my streusel right here. I also greased a muffin tin. This is only gonna make 12 muffins. So what I did is I used coconut oil and gluten-free flour. You can use papers if you want instead. I just like this a little bit better. So what you're gonna do, you want these to be as even as possible. I'm making a mess. So I like to take a 1/4 cup measurement and measure out a 1/4 cup and then put this in here like so. And I'm just gonna show you what to do with the streusel so you don't have to watch me do the whole thing. Okay, so you put that in there, then you take a little bit of the streusel and you just sprinkle it on top and push it down a little, because if you don't push it down then it just stays crumbly and it kind of falls off. Okay, so fill all of your muffin tins like this. Put your streusel on top, and then we're gonna bake it at 350, bake them at 350 for about 27 to 30 minutes, or until when you stick a fork, or a toothpick I should say, into these, it comes out clean. And the streusel is nice and brown on top, but it's not burnt. We're not looking for burnt streusel. Alrighty, it smells really good in here, and I know why. It's because of you. Oh, yes. These look delicious. Look at that. Don't you just want to eat one? Well, guess what? You've got the recipe, so you can eat one. But you're gonna have to make them first. So from here, don't burn yourself, keep these on. Let them cool in the pan for about 5 or 10 minutes until they're warm enough, or not too hot that you can actually touch. And then you're gonna like jiggle the pan like this, and even take your fingers and kind of pull the muffins away from the side so that they easily come out of the tin, and then you got this perfect little muffin. So these muffins will not last very long because they're so good, but they will last for 2 to 3 days at room temperature. If you're not going to eat them right away and you made these ahead of time, good on you. Put them in the freezer. Make sure you cover them nicely though so no air gets at them after they've cooled completely, and then they'll probably stay in there for 3 to 6 months, but I'd say closer to 3. And that's it. Those are your vegan, gluten-free pumpkin muffins with streusel on top. They will light up your holiday. They will light up your winter. They will just light up your life. Enjoy them. I hope that I will see you again next time. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been Lauren with Delectable You. Enjoy your muffins.